Hey guys, welcome back. It's really early this morning. It's 5:45 a.m. and I'm getting ready for work. I have to be at work today at 7:30 in the morning, which you're probably thinking like, why are you up so early when you've got like a couple hours before you need to be to work? But I'm that type of person that I like to have ample time in the morning to get ready, to just, do my makeup, have my prayer time, have my coffee. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. So yeah, but today I thought I would do another like get ready with me before I head off to work. Just kind of like a quick makeup look. Sometimes these end up not being quick, but my goal today is to do just like a quick wearable look that any of you guys could wear to work as well. And I finally picked up the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. I told you guys that I have been wanting to pick this up and try it out just because, some of you guys have been telling me that this is your go-to foundation. And then I also saw Emily Noel's video where she was, talking about her favorite Rimmel products. And this was one of her favorites. I picked up these two shades in 200 Soft Beige and 50 Fair Porcelain. Like the shade that I felt like I needed was somewhere in between these, but I was honestly having such a hard time like finding places that sold all of the shade ranges online. I did end up getting these two shades off of Amazon. And I figured that this 200 Soft Beige, if it doesn't match me right now, it'll definitely match me in the summer, especially once I get out and get a little bit more sun. But I did swatch 50 Fair Porcelain and it looks really, really light. So I definitely can't wear this right now. But let me just do two swatches of these on the back of my hand. So maybe if you're like me and you're just like unsure about like what shade you need to get, so maybe you can just have a reference on these. And both of these two shades are supposed to be like neutral undertone. And I definitely would say they are very neutral undertoned. So this one over here is 50 Porcelain. And then this is the 200 Soft Beige. So I think probably if I mix these two, it's going to be perfect. But should I try to use Soft Beige and see how it works out? I mean, I feel like it's pretty close, honestly. So maybe I should just use that one. So yeah, let's just do 200 Soft Beige. I mean, I have gotten outside like with my staycation that I had last week. And I've been trying to get outside like after I get home from work, just because like I told you guys in like last week, I went to my doctor and she said I was low on vitamin D. So just trying to get out there and get a little bit more sun, which I mean, I still try to be careful in doing so, wear sunscreen and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm like kind of one of those people that feel like a little bit of sun exposure is okay. But I know some other people would totally disagree with me on that, but to each their own. But yeah, I mean, I know that you definitely need to take precautions for skin cancer, but I'm just going to dot this foundation all around. And the consistency of this is like a little thicker, but it's not quite as thick, I don't think, as like Revlon Color Stay. Like it does seem maybe like a little bit, I wouldn't say runnier, but like, yeah, maybe not quite as thick as Revlon Color Stay. And I'm just blending that in with my Paw Paw makeup sponge. Okay, yeah, I do think that this is going to be a pretty good match. It blends out super easily. Like this is the first time me using this Rimmel Lasting Finish. I just got it in the mail yesterday. I don't like it, might have just like a slight kind of perfumed smell, but it's very, very light, not really noticeable. I would like basically say that it has no scent. My sense of smell is not super strong, so get a little bit more from my nose here. But the finish of this is really pretty. It looks just like a nice, it really looks like a glowy finish on me, I feel like. It has a nice luminous glow, at least right now. Maybe it kind of sets up and gets a little bit more matte, I don't know. But I'm like, does it say what kind of finish this has? It doesn't really say, but this says hydration boost. So full coverage, lightweight foundation with a boost of hydration for a great looking skin that lasts all day. And it says that it's got SPF 20 in it. So yeah, I would definitely say this is full coverage, like a medium full. Okay, yeah, the finish on that is really pretty. I don't know if you guys can see on camera. Okay, so I really like the finish on this, and I'll do a wear test today, so I'll come back with a check-in after work, and we'll just see how well it wore. But it seems like, you know, from what you guys tell me and like what Emily said in her video, that this has really great lasting power, so. And I've really been enjoying the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, the matte one. I told you guys I recently picked this one up, and I've really been enjoying this as well. So I have so many great foundations in my collection right now. I don't have any high-end foundations though. Like, all of my foundations in my collection right now are all drugstore. And since we're using the Rimmel foundation, let's go ahead and use the Rimmel Multitasker concealer. And this is in shade 30, which I feel like might need to get like a slightly darker shade of this concealer. I always have like different versions of products, like summer version and winter version of like complexion things. I don't know if you guys are like that or not, but I definitely get a little bit more tan in the summer months. Just taking a little bit more of that. Yeah, and I would say that this Rimmel Multitasker concealer has like the same sort of finish like the Lasting Foundation. Yeah, it's like I really wish that more of like the drugstores would carry Rimmel. Like, I feel like Rimmel is such a great affordable brand, but it is not as accessible, at least here in the States. I don't know, maybe it's more accessible in like the European countries. Like, any of my European followers, like, let us know in the comments if that's the case, like if it's more accessible like where you live. But I would say that's probably like the biggest downfall, is just like having a hard time like finding places that sell it. Like, I know that, you know, Walgreens sells it and so does Walmart, but it's like can vary from like Walgreens to Walgreens or like Walmart to Walmart. Like, certain locations might carry more things than others, and maybe some locations don't carry it, period. So it's just like you really have to do your research online. Like, I think like on Rimmel's website or somewhere, it probably was Rimmel's website. It was like showing, or maybe I went to like Walgreens or something, and it, you know, would search their inventory per like where the location was. And I did find a Walgreens, at least from online, that sold that foundation, but I never went to that Walgreens because I just ended up ordering it off of Amazon. So sorry, I feel like I'm getting off on a tangent. And I want to keep this glowy finish. So I'm going to set this with like a more glowy setting powder. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to use to set my under eyes today. I might actually go in with the Wet n Wild Loose setting powder. This is the soft pink shade. I've been using this a little bit more, and I think, like, you know, when you have a little bit more color to your skin, at least for me, I feel like this looks a little bit better. Like, when I was super fair in using this, like, it almost just showed up a little bit too pinky on me. But I'm just using my sponge to kind of pat that in on the under eye area, just to set the concealer. But I love the Wet n Wild Loose setting powder, like both this pink one and just like their regular translucent one. Like, they're such great loose setting powders. And I can't believe that I hadn't used it until this year. But I think I've mentioned it before, but like, I'm not normally as big of a fan of loose setting powders as I am pressed. I think, one, it's just, they're not as messy. And two, I feel like when you use a pressed setting powder, it just doesn't apply as much to the face as like a loose setting powder does. Okay, so I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Loose Setting Powder. This is in Light. And I'm just going to tap that on with my flat top e.l.f. powder brush. But this does kind of tone down shine just a little bit, but kind of gives like a soft diffused glow. It's like the only thing that I really notice about this Rimmel Lasting Finish, at least up close, is I feel like around my nose, like right in here, it's looking a little dry, like it's kind of accentuating dryness, just maybe ever so slightly. But honestly, like when I look at it like this, I don't really notice it. That was like in my magnifying mirror, which that always magnifies everything and makes it look like 10 times as worse. It's like when you haven't used a magnifying mirror in a while, or if you've never used one and then the first time that you use it, you're like, oh my God, like my skin looks like that. It's so scary to see it up close. And then I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Build-A-Brow to fill in my eyebrows. I'll probably just speed through this part just to get things done a little bit faster. It's like, if only we could do this in real life. And then I'm just going to apply some of the Milani eyeshadow primer. Just blending that all over my eyelids. And then I'm just going to put some of the Vaseline Rosy Lips in the tub here on my lips to moisturize. I'm just debating on like what I want to do for my eyes today. Like, is there a certain palette I want to use? Do I want to just use my bronzers today? It's like another palette that I have not used in a minute, which I do really like this. And this is newer. This is the e.l.f. Keep It Ethereal, their 10 pan eyeshadow palette. So let's use this today. We'll just do like a quick everyday eye look with this. It's like I'm always super lazy with cleaning my makeup brushes. I usually just take like a washcloth like this and I just kind of wipe them around on there to get the bristles at least somewhat, like I just dry clean them that way. And I mean, like the washcloth isn't damp or anything, it's just like a dry washcloth, but that's kind of like my technique of what I do if I'm not washing my makeup brushes and they need to be kind of cleaned off. So I'm gonna go in with this pink shade and I'm just gonna put that here in the crease. But I really need to just do a full makeup brush cleaning this weekend. Also, I saw that BK Beauty is doing 20% off. By the time you guys see this video, the sale might already be over with, but I saw that they were doing 20% off for Mother's Day. So I'm highly considering to get some of the BK Beauty brushes. I know that it's like I've been saying that I've wanted to get some of those brushes for like over a year now, but they're just expensive, and it's like one of those things where I wanted to just evaluate like what are the shape and style of brushes that I like to use mostly on an everyday kind of basis. So I kind of have a better idea of like what brushes to get from them, but I'll probably end up doing like some brush sets. Like the Angie Hot and Flashy, like her collection with BK Beauty, I do really like that one. I like the little concealer brush. I know a lot of people, I'm going to go back with this one brush that I use to blend out the Milani eyeshadow primer to just kind of lighten this a little bit. But like a lot of people like rave about her little concealer brush. And I'm one of those people that I also like little detailed, you know, eyeshadow brushes, and I feel like they're really hard to find right now. So I'm kind of thinking of getting her set. And I don't know, like I don't know if I'll buy like a few other face brushes or if I'll get like a set. I know like the sets are like really the best deal to do. in the long run, you know. But it's like at the same time, I'm like, do I need all of those brushes? Like, will I use all of them? Because I'm going to go in with this light cream now. Just because I was going through my brushes the other day and just like decluttering some out of my little container that I have. The ones that I just have not touched in months. Because they're just taking up space, and I'm like, I don't use these. So it's not that they're like bad makeup brushes, but it's like, you know, if you're applying makeup every day, you know the brushes that you like. It's like clothes that you enjoy wearing. You just tend to always reach for those same makeup brushes because you know like the look you're gonna get with those. And I have different brushes that I like to use for different things. Okay, so that's just like a really light look, and I'm debating if I want to go in with one of the glittery shades. I might actually use this one. I don't think I've used this color in a video. It is like a little bit darker compared to the other first two shades in this palette, but, and I'm trying to find, here we go. I want to use this little Wet n Wild concealer brush. I was using the blending brush. This was from that Amazon brush set. And then this little brush is from an e.l.f. brush set. I use this one all the time as well. This is called their Defining Eye Brush, I think. Like the wording has completely rubbed off of this. Yeah, Defining Eye Brush. It's like I can faintly see it. And then this was the Real Techniques 100, the deluxe crease brush. This one. It's like thicker. So we're just gonna get some of that shade here on this Wet n Wild small concealer brush. And I'm just gonna put that all over the eyelid. Man, it's like a whole caravan of cars are going by right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But yeah, this Keep It Ethereal palette is just such a beautiful everyday palette. And it is a little bit more on the warm side, but it's kind of more of a neutral, like a warm neutral palette. Like when I see this, I think of like soft autumn, like with seasonal color analysis. This is the Sigma Pencil E30 brush. And I'm gonna use, I think I'm going to use the darkest brown in this palette. And I'm going to smudge this here on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to get some more of that dark brown. Tap off the excess. I'm getting it here on the tip of the Sigma E25 blending. And this Sigma E25 blending brush that I use, I have had for years and years and years. This came as like a little kind of sample brush, like with their essential like brushes, like their essential brush set or whatever from Sigma. So I just absolutely love this brush. It's the best. I mean, you can still get the Sigma E25 blending like just in the regular brush, you know, like their long regular brushes. But this little brush has been with me for such a long time. Like I first got those Sigma brushes, that brush set, when I turned 27. And I'm now 40. So it's like, how old is that? It's like 37 would have been 10 years. 38, 39, 40. So I've had them for 13 years. Like that's just crazy. Still going strong. Now see, like this eyeshadow look is probably more than what you would do for like a quick everyday makeup look, at least for some of you guys. So, you know, if you were really short on time, you could just stop at the place where I had like the brow bone highlight, the crease color, and the lid shade. And maybe you could do like the lower lash line if you wanted some more definition there. But that could just be like the simple look. But like if you had a little bit more time, you could do something like this. Like I've told you guys before, I just love the process of putting on makeup. And that's part of the reason why I get up earlier. just so I can have time to just really sit here and play with my makeup like every morning before work. It just brings me so much joy. And, you know, it's just a way for self-expression. It's just like, you know, dressing in different like clothing styles or whatever. It's just like a different way to express yourself. And I just love makeup for that. I'm just kind of going back with like the crease shade and just blending that outer V shade out. And now I'm just going back with that cream color and just touching up the brow bone highlight. So see, I feel like even though that's a little darker, it's not like too dark and dramatic for like an everyday eyeshadow look. So that's why I think this palette is just great for an everyday palette, because even the darkest shades in here are not going to be like too crazy for an everyday eye. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to bronzer. Just been trying to drink my coffee here. And I'm debating if I want to do like liquid bronzer or do I want to do powder. But I think I'm going to do powder bronzer, and I'm going to be using, I feel like I just said that weird. I'm going to use the e.l.f. contour palette. And I'm going to first go in with like the darker bronzer in this palette to kind of contour. And I'll get some on the brush and then I just tap off the excess here on the back of my hand so it doesn't apply it too heavily on the first application. And I'm using the Real Techniques 200 Deluxe or Expert Face Brush. I feel like I cannot talk this morning. Do you like to get up a little bit earlier to have extra time to do your makeup? Or are you one of those people that go to bed way too late and then you have a hard time waking up in the morning, and so you're just usually rushing to get out the door? Or, you know, do you have like kids and you, even though you get up early, you still don't have time to like really do your makeup the way you'd want to, so you just have to hurry up and do your makeup? Like, let us know in the comments, you know, which person, like which one are you? And I've always been the type of person that has gotten up early. Like even as a kid, I just did not sleep in super late. But I think part of it too with me, I go to bed early. Like last night I was in bed by 8:30. So I know that sleep is super important, so I definitely make sure that I'm getting my sleep that I need. I just cannot function if I don't get at least 6 hours of sleep, you know, and most nights I definitely try to get anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm just using the Sigma F30. I don't know why I can never remember the number on this. And I'm just blending that bronzer out. Like I know BK Beauty kind of has a brush shaped like this. Like I would like to get a brush like this for bronzing. And then I want to get like the one brush that's like bigger and it's like kind of slanted to do, you know, foundation. Because I never really use a brush to do foundation, but I just don't feel like any of my brushes in my collection are good like foundation brushes. So I'd like to get that to try that one out. And I want like a good cream, which that slanted one would probably be good for like cream bronzer blush as well. But I want like a good cream bronzer and cream blush brush, and maybe, because I use a different, like if I'm doing powder blush, I like to use an angled brush like this. And if I'm doing liquid blush, I use like a more dense type of angled brush like that. So, and when it comes to like bronzer, you know, I like to use a brush like this to contour it on, and then this to kind of like, you know, diffuse it out. And then for cream or like liquid bronzer, I like to use a denser angled brush. So those are kind of like the types of brushes that I like to use for those types of products, but we'll see what I end up getting. But like, what are your favorite bouquet? BK beauty brushes. Like, which ones would you recommend to us? Let us know in the comments. Okay, so today I'm gonna use these. Today I'm gonna use this Revlon powder blush in Very Berry. And I told you guys that I had picked this blush up recently, and I saw a comment, and I'm sorry if I didn't respond back, but one of you asked me if this was a matte blush, and it is. This has no shimmer or sheen in it. It's completely matte. So I used this blush for the first time yesterday, and I really liked it. So beautiful. It's kind of like a muted berry. I'm just using the Morphe 241, and I'm just tapping that on. It's very pigmented, so you don't need a lot of it. So as you can see, like, it's very berry. It's probably why I got its shade name. So it's really pretty. I know it probably looks a little highlighted, but that's just because, like, my foundation and like the Halo Glow powder, loose setting powder, but I really love this color. I think it's super pretty. It just gives you like that you were out in the cold and came in, like, natural flush look on your cheeks. And then for my highlight, I'm using the CoverGirl Super Stunner palette. I'm basically project panning this because I feel like it's the only highlight I've been using, like, in my real life, like when I'm not doing videos. But I just think this is such a beautiful highlight. This is I'm using the Morphe M164. Such a beautiful glow. And I'm sorry, but like, I'm still like 2016 with the highlight, just applying it everywhere. Just love a good highlight. Okay, and then to set everything, I'm just gonna use the Urban Decay All Nighter. All right, and I'm gonna curl my lashes up and apply my mascara. And today I'm gonna use the Maybelline Lash Sensational, but this is in the shade like black brown or something like that. It's the dark brown shade. So I'm just gonna apply several coats of this, and then I'll come back and we'll figure out like what I'm gonna use on the lips. I'll probably also go ahead and like fix my hair and get my clothes on for today. Okay, I'm back. I got my clothes on for today and got my hair fixed, which I didn't really do much to it. I just basically took it out of the clips and brushed it and put some dry shampoo in there. I'm trying to figure out like what lip I want to wear today, but I did pick up another one of the NYX Lip IV little like stains, like glossy serum stains, and this is in the shade Bubblegum Burst. It's like a more pink color than the other one that I have in Drippin' in Rose. So see, I think that's a beautiful, like slightly bright mauve pink. Like, it's not super intense, but it is like brighter than a lot of other mauves out there. Maybe it's just like a little bit more warm toned, but if you have yet to use these NYX Lip IVs, they're similar to the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Inks in the sense that they are really shiny, moisturizing, and last for a long time on your lips. But these NYX ones are not sticky or tacky the way that the Maybelline ones are. Like the Maybelline ones, I feel like some people don't like because of how they feel like sticky and tacky. So these do not feel like that at all. And these are the two shades that I have. The one is in Drippin' in Rose, and the other one is that bubblegum. What is it called? Bubblegum Burst. So I want to show you guys the time. So, you know, we know how long it's been since I've had the makeup on, and it's been on my face for a little bit because, you know, it took me a minute after I stopped the camera to get my clothes on and do all that, brush my teeth. And I also want to read out of my devotional today, but it is 6:52. Okay, so this is the picture for today's devotion. There's a place for you. When you feel like you don't fit in, may you walk in faith because you have a place at the table of grace. When you feel like you're just not enough, may you remember that His enough is more than enough for you. When you trip up and fall short, remember He stoops down to make you great. And when you don't feel victorious, remember that you're already seated with Christ because He won the victory for you. Have a great day. And then the scripture for today is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. So, yeah, I hope that is encouraging for you guys today. But here is the final makeup look, because I forgot to do like an up close of that. So I really like the way that today's look turned out, like a good everyday makeup look, at least for me. Maybe for some of you guys, this is like more makeup than you'd wear on an everyday basis, but I will see you guys later this afternoon with my check-in with the foundation. Okay guys, I'm back and it is 4:52. So it has been 10 hours since I saw you all this morning. And this is what my makeup is looking like after a full day's work. I got home like around 4:15. And like I told you guys, I started work today at 7:30 this morning. So, I mean, I know we're not looking at the eyeshadow, but seems like that held up pretty good. Like, as you can see, my face did get like a little bit more dewy. And I mentioned this before about my ring light, but it definitely enhances the shine on my face whenever you see it on camera. It's not quite as shiny in person. But overall, I feel like this foundation has held up so well throughout the day. I was looking at it up close right before filming, and it's like, I feel like kind of like around my nose, like right in here, like where I was saying earlier, it looked a little bit dry. I feel like maybe it's kind of worn off a little bit there, but not much. Like, and I feel like I got something like some dirt or something right there on the bridge of my nose, but I mean, overall, I feel like it held up super well. So I do really like this for like a long wearing foundation, and I'll have to use this, you know, over the next like week or so to get like a good opinion on it. But this definitely seems a little bit more luminous than a lot of other long wearing foundations, like full coverage long wearing foundations that I have that aren't necessarily marketed for a dewy finish. Like this one isn't necessarily marketed for that, and it doesn't have any shimmer. I don't really want to say shimmer, but you know how like the Maybelline, it's got like a pearl base in it. This has like a pearl, where this doesn't have like a pearl base in it. So I'm actually really surprised. I mean, I did set it today with the e.l.f. Halo Glow, the loose powder, so that probably actually did enhance the glow. So I'll have to try it again with like some other setting powders and see if it's still as glowy. But overall, I do really like it, and I'm so happy that you guys recommended this to me, those of you that did. So yeah, like I said, oh, and I saw one of your comments today. I think it was from Melissa. She was telling me to check Five Below. So if you have that store around you, maybe check and see if they carry Rimmel. Because I just posted, I guess, one of my videos today talking about me wanting to get that foundation, and so she recommended checking out Five Below. So I'll have to check out my local Five Below and see if they sell more Rimmel products in there. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this. It really means so much to me that you took time out of your day to just spend it with me. So yeah, I hope that you all have a great day, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye. I keep hitting my mirror.